Welcome into this video. I would like to walk you through the concept of withholding tax. I know this concept usually confuses a lot of people when it comes to withholding tax. More so even during the filing of the taxes for the year 2025, it has been too much hectic for taxpayer to conceptualize this concept. So withholding tax in simple language is usually an advance tax which the government correct even before you are paid. So when a payer is paying to you, or the person who have given you a certain job is paying to you, or some interest which you are earning from the bank, the withholding tax is usually deducted by the person who is paying to you and remitted to the revenue authority. So when you are receiving your amount is usually less withholding tax. So in most scenario, you usually receive your income. Also, if it is for consulting and professional services, you usually receive it at 95%. But when it comes to withholding tax, there are some withholding tax which are qualifying and others are not qualifying. So that's where the confusion usually comes from. So if your withholding tax is qualifying, that means that the amount of withholding tax which is deducted is a final tax. For non-qualifying one, the amount of withholding tax which is corrected is not a final tax, and meaning it is not a final tax is that you'll be required to declare the remaining amount of tax after deducting the withholding tax when filing your annual tax return. So when we are doing the annual filing tax of the end of the year, you are supposed to declare the amount of the withholding tax and remit the remainder to the government. So that is the concept of the withholding tax. So what does it mean? So some of the qualifying withholding taxes in Kenya, they are interest from Treasury Bill and Board, which raised between 10% to 15%. So the amount of the withholding tax which is deducted from this amount is a final tax. But for professional consulting and management services, the amount of 5% which is deducted from these services does not qualify to be a final tax, and you are required to declare it when filing your annual tax return. Therefore, there was also an amendment which was done by the government where even all the interest originating from any financial institution in Kenya for a resident individual, note that in case you are a resident, they are all of them, they are qualifying interest, and the amount of the 15% which is deducted at point of by the withholdee is usually a final tax. So that is technically what the concept of the withholding tax usually allude to. It is an advance tax which government collect in advance, and say we want to consume this money in advance. So it usually try to keep the government into cash flow or ensure the cash flow of the government is coming every day. So that is the whole analogy of the withholding tax, and that's why you see right now government is trying to introduce withholding tax close to all sector. That's why they have taxed the scrap metal area, and they were trying to do the same proposal into the Motuba business. Since the government usually get it very easy to make it for compliance when it comes to withholding tax, since this tax is usually collected at the meter. Hapo ndo huwa tunasema imekatiwa kwa meter. So that is the whole analogy of the withholding tax. In case you have any query regarding any tax or regarding withholding tax, you can get me using the contact in the description. So thank you for watching and have a nice day ahead.